Hey, time for another Wisdom of the Masters. I am Sean Webb. Today's mastery, we're going to break down the famous poem by William Blake, which goes like this. To see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. So a lot of people have done a lot of analysis on William Blake's poetry, and especially this poem because it is such a beautiful sentiment. What's the secret of this one? Well, the secret of this one is the experience that you have when enlightenment hits you like a Mack truck. So when your brain quiets to the level of the brain patterns that are normal in your day ceasing, different patterns can then arise, different things occur within your gray matter, and it allows your consciousness to expand. Now, the theory is that your waking awareness dives deep down into your subconscious, out through the microtubules of your neurons and into the consciousness of the universe. True or not true, I don't know, maybe. But the experience that you have is very similar among all other human beings who've had this experience. And it is of having a short amount of time turn into an eternity, and you experiencing the feeling of infinity, and being able to understand that even at the most smallest levels of existence in everything that makes up our seemingly real world around us, that's connected to absolutely everything else in the universe. And that you can access the whole universe down at the deepest levels of nothingness, down below the Planck length, where the field of infinite potential stretches out to everywhere throughout all space and time, forwards and backwards in time, and you can travel that space and access absolutely anything if you are disciplined enough to do so, right? And so what William Blake is talking about in this poem is an explanation of that moment that seems to drift through infinity, and yet which you come back from into this space-time existence, and yet you don't lose the infinity that you experienced. And the experience itself can take minutes or potentially hours, but it seems like thousands of years while you're there, which is the really weird thing about it. And so when we're talking about to see a world in a grain of sand, well, when you see a grain of sand, you zoom down into it and understand the fractal nature of the universe, and that absolutely every part of the universe is held in that grain of sand. And heaven in a wild flower, right? You get transported from this intelligent thing that came up and has a complexity that is flabbergasting in this wild flower to be growing here on Earth, yet that flower, the intelligence within that flower that created that flower, spreads out through all of the universe with that same intelligence that drives absolutely everything else. To hold infinity in the palm of your hand, right? The atoms within your hand will reveal to you, or within everywhere, but he picked the palm of your hand for poetic reasons, I'm sure. But those atoms hold infinity, because when you get down below the level of those atoms in your hand, you find infinity, and you access it, and you see it, and you experience it. It's amazing. You want to talk about walking with God, an eternity in an hour. And that's really what it feels like, is that, you go into this existence and a short amount of time passes in your life, minutes, hours, however long it takes your body to metabolize the neurochemical entheogenic soup that's going on in your brain that allows you to access your infinite consciousness down through waking awareness into your subconscious levels, out into everything. That seems like it takes forever. Like the awakening experience I personally had, I thought I was dead. I thought I was in heaven and being one with God, being the creator of the whole thing for thousands of years or millions of years. Like, time doesn't even register there, because it's a place where you can simply fly backwards and forwards through time, because all moments are happening instantaneously in this one moment. It's beyond explanation, except that beautiful poems like this one come out of people's mouths when they do try to explain it. Anyway, that's my take on William Blake's famous poem. What do you think? Let us know in the comments, or if you've got other stuff that you'd like us to break down, please send it. Go to mindhackinghappiness.com, hit us in the contacts page, and let us know what you'd like to see on our next Wisdom of the Masters. Talk to you soon. Love you. Peace.
Share this shit.